And on the 147th day, the black cloud of despair passes over Uncle Rico's house and moves on to the next poor fat bastard. We may be out of it, folks. Wasn't 147, but damn close. When you battle depression and you have bad luck and drama always seems to follow you, it can whip up the perfect storm. And I was in the middle of it, hopefully out of it. But for a while, man. March 20th at least is when the scratched eyeball broken drive shaft happened. Was there a buildup of shit before that? Or did it just come up out of nowhere? I can't remember. But yesterday was the first day that some stuff went well. And when you go through crap like this on a continuous basis, you tend to celebrate the little battles, you know. So yesterday I got up, I put my shoes on, I'm like, hey, look at you. I brushed my teeth, I'm like, that's 2 in a row, buddy. I went to the grocery store and found a 6-pack of Shiner Bock that was super discounted on clearance. A whole bunch of it, so I grabbed a 6er. Stuff is delicious. But yeah, when you go through shit like that, you know, you make a stoplight, you know. If you make a stoplight, you're like, fuck yeah, this is refreshing, you know. But, so I get home and I'm bitching to my buddy. I can't hit up my mechanic anymore because his my assistant, is a recovering tweaker, and I told him that I won my disability claim finally. So he told his buddy that he lives with, and he did some work for me and charged me through the roof. Before it was always like, what can you spare, man? I'd give him a couple $100, you know. Now he was like, well, that was 5 hours, so 500 at least. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. So I kind of read them the riot act, so that bridge is sufficiently burnt. So I hit my other buddy up, who's really smart with cars too. I don't know what he does for a job, but he's been on my hockey team for a while. We skate together. Went over to his house one day to sharpen skates, and he has his laptop up, and all sorts of graphs and charts and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, looks like he's air traffic controller. And I go, dude, are you smart? And he goes, what? No, not at all. No. And I go, what is that you're working on? And he goes, oh, it's overseas stuff, Asia customers. And I go, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, it'll bore you. And I go, just broad strokes. And he goes, refitting the centrifugation of the blah 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 axis point around the XY phase to regulate liquid disponent duration based on blah 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 blah. And I'm like, he's like, basically rations out, you know, distribution of liquids. It could be used for paints, washing machine companies, you know, whatever. And I go, you're fucking smart, man. And he goes, no. And I go, you got degrees and stuff? And he goes, engineering. And I'm like, you're fucking smart, you son of a bitch. You goddamn son of a bitch, holding out. So I was hitting him up, talking to him about some of my broken down vehicles. And he's like, what are you looking for? And I said, my back's fucked up, so I'm looking for a late 80s, early 90s, straight back bench seat if I can, because those things are awesome. But, you know, something gas mileage. I need a daily driver, and I need it to be big. I can't sit in, you know, Nissans and Toyotas, because by the time I sit, you know, the way I gotta sit when I'm driving, I'm up here on the ceiling, and I'm looking through that fucking windshield tint. And stoplights, I'm like looking like this. I gotta turn, I'm looking like this. So he sends me a picture of this rape van. And he's like, Transit Connect. And I'm like, you fucking dummy. But again, the guy's a genius. So I'm like, why did and then he's like, before I can even, so I start processing. I'm like, well, I said is that a 4-cylinder? And then as I'm like, it'll have room. But as I'm processing this, then he hits me with his text, and he's like, it's a 4-cylinder. It'll have plenty of room. It's good for your job now. It'll be good for your charity, because I'll be transporting dogs for my charity. So I'm like, Jesus. So, and then he hits me up, and he's like, oh, never mind, too expensive. And he's in a different stratosphere than me, is when it comes to finances. Gated community my guy lives in. So if he's like, oh, it's too expensive, I'm like, ah, crap. So, but then when I start my look again, I keep seeing these vans. So I click on them. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I find 3 or 4 like in the near area, because I can't drive anymore in this Crown Vic. It is fucking up my back. So he goes, so I go and take a look at one. It's right by my house. I like it. Talk him down a little bit. Go and look at another one. Turns out to be a huge passenger van. I'm like, nah, I did that in high school. It was a V8. I did that in high school. I had a big conversion van, so all my friends would knock on my window late at night. Hey man, you want to sneak out? Do what? Road trip. What? Me and you? No, we got a bunch of people around the corner. Okay, as long as somebody else drives. So I went and look at this other one. It's passenger van. Called the first guy up. I'm like, hey man, get him talked down to a little bit more. He agrees to deliver to me, which is awesome. So today I'm going to do. There's a little bit of not a grind, but a rub in the front, and I look, and it looks like the pads are a little bit low. So I'm gonna check those out, swap them out. I'm gonna swap out the air filter, swap out the spark plugs. Kind of the same thing you should do for tune-ups in about 100,000. So, but yeah, things are looking better. So, yeah, it's a kind of a tune-up thing that you should always do at about 100,000, and they're all pretty easy procedures. You can pull them up on the Google machine. So, but yeah, gonna do that. What else is new? Oh, on the dating front. I matched with 2 girls. One was a social media pirate. It has come to my knowledge that girls on OnlyFans will send money to other girls in the promise, it's kind of like a verbal contract, that they will send people to their OnlyFans. So if Sophia is this, Dictie's prostitute, that's pretty much what they are. I got respect for a real prostitute. At least she's, doing the deed. But, oh, my name is Nakia. I'm on OnlyFans. I'm going to send Ugly Margaret $20. Hey, let me see your following. What do you imprint? Oh, sweet. You want to partner up? We'll pimp each other out. We'll push each other. I'm the big player here. So if you agree to send me people, push people to OnlyFans, I'll give you a certain amount a week or whatever. So I found out. So when they hit you up, when these girls hit you up, it never made sense to me because it was like, oh, they talk, and then if you join their OnlyFans, because I have. I mean, not anymore. You do it once or twice, and you're like, okay, I get it, I'm done. But once you join, they don't talk to you anymore. They're like, oh, I got you, I hooked you, But I'm always curious, so I'm always asking and stuff. OnlyFans gets a cut, so when I hit this one girl hit me up, and she's freaking gorgeous. I told her, I'm like, I know, I sent her a voice note. She's like, oh, follow him, go to my OnlyFans. I go, listen, you're either a social media pirate or you're the real thing. If you're the real thing, you can scam me. Let's keep chatting. Let's get past the OnlyFans So they take a cut. I'll give you money directly. Like, I just want contact with you. You're so hot. And no, join my OnlyFans. It's where I can get really sexy. And then I'm like, okay, this is social media pirate. So she's gone. Other girl that I was really interested with. Met her on Tinder. She says we start chatting. We get hot and heavy, very hot and heavy. Whenever we start, if and I never take it there. I always let if they dip a toe in, I'll dip a toe in. If they stick their foot in, then I jump in, and I'm good at, because that's my wheelhouse. So this one girl. Oh no, that's what I did with the other girl. The other chick, I did that before her. And then this one was the one. So the other one I knew was a scammer, but she was so super hot. And so I do my thing and get her fired up. And sometimes I'm so good at the sexy talk that I'll get them, like, hooked. And her, we had two conversations going at the same time. And she sends me a hot picture of her in a summer dress. And she's like, what would you do to me if I were here? If I were there right now? And I said something like, I sent her a voice note. And I said, if you were here right now, I would, I'd figure we'd probably be out in a bar or in public somewhere. So I would probably walk up behind you and whisper in your ear that you are such a sexy fucking goddess. And then I went into it a little bit further, and then I pulled the rug out from under her. But at the end of the voice note, I like hot, getting very descriptive, and then I finished it with, and then I would walk away. And that was how I ended the voice note. And so then she was like, and we're carrying two conversations, and she's like, and so I addressed the other thing, and then she's like, and then what would happen? And we were talking about the other stuff, and then she's like, so what would happen after you walked away then? And I kept talking about the other stuff, and then she's like, yeah, that's fine, but you kind of left me hanging here. What would happen then after you walked away? And she kept doing it. So I go, oh yeah, I left her another voice note then. And I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. I didn't. And then I continued on with the sexy naughty talk. And then after that was over, because she was fully engaged at that point then. And then after that point, she was like, oh, you should copy and paste my OnlyFans and take away the space, so you can see how naughty I can get in return. But like, we've done voice notes back and forth and everything, so that's how I knew, okay, this chick isn't. I asked her if she would verify herself. She kept sending me the same content over and over again. I go, oh, okay, this is a social media pirate. But I even told her, that's when I sent her the voice, and I go, listen, I know you're a fucking scammer, but like, please just tell me where you got the stuff. I don't care. I'll send you money directly. Like, just, I want more of this. This chick is like amazingly hot. So, and then the other one on Tinder, we start talking, and she says, oh, I'm in Houston, Texas. So I'm like, oh. And she's like, but I hate it here. We're practically homeless. The living situation is horrible. I'm like, well, it's not bad out. It's not much worse out here, but I'm in a pretty good situation. Like, if you are legit looking for a change of pace, you could come out here. Even if we're not romantically involved, you could, stay here until you find a place. It might be hard to find a place, but they are out there, especially where I live. But I'm just running my mouth. I'm like, well, we'd have to meet first, and I have to know you're not an addict, because I keep helping out, friends and their, So we're talking. We got hot too, me and her. When we're chatting, we go to text, and then once we start texting, were we texting or are we on Snap? No, we left Tinder, went to Snap. And then on Snap, we got really hot and heavy. and I did my thing a little bit, not heavy. I gave her like a 7, and receptive. Gave it back to me, and then we start chatting. Okay, and so out of town, and then we're talking. Kid, she brings up the kid next. And I'm like, well, to be honest, those aren't deal breakers. I kind of have an ideal situation where I could help you out. I even have mountain land that will be inhabitable pretty soon. I've got a trailer up there. Not that you would be living up there, So, but I said about the kid, I go, I've always wanted kids, so I don't, I like single mothers are not like. I would rather have the kid than the single mother. I always figured I would be a father at some point. So we're talking, and she's talking about her situation, how dire it is. And I'm like, well, if you're not an addict and you really are looking for, a change and are if we may not even be romantically inclined as long as we're cohabitable. I have a lot of work here that you could do. I could pay you different stuff up on the mountain. I'd give you $500 to clean out my trailer. We're talking about stuff, and she says, and we're sending voice notes back and forth. She looks kind of like Skylar Diggins, who I've had a crush on forever. And really cute voice. And at one point she tells me that she's gay. And I'm like, okay, so pumping the brakes then. And she goes, what? Is there something wrong with that? And I'm like, I mean, not for you personally. I am an advocate for gay rights. My sister is gay. I'm so proud of her. But for me, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be selfish here. I guess if we're back to like me just helping you out, it's not a problem. But I guess I'm a little misled because you are, very descriptive in what we were talking about. And she goes, oh, well, I've been with guys before. And I go, yeah, well, obviously, you have a kid. And she's like, well, it's not my kid, it's my wife's kid. And I'm like, what the shit are you talking about now? And she's like, well, I'm married. I said, my wife. And I go, I thought you were talking about figuratively. You said, I'm not anywhere where I want to be right now. I thought I would be, when I was younger, I thought I would be, what did she say? She's like, I thought I would be married with a kid with my spouse in a nice house right now. And I'm like, I thought you were talking figuratively. I didn't know like you meant like you do have a spouse right now. And I'm like, what the hell? And she's like, well, she has been with guys before too. And I'm like, but both of you are not bi. You didn't say you're bi. You said you're both gay. She's like, yeah, we're both gay. And I'm like, so what are you talking about? You want us to move out? You want to move in with me and it be a reality sitcom? Rug munchers and beef and the munchers and the chitlin and the bees. The munchers, munchers, beef, and chitlin. And the chitlin, munchers, and beef. But I'm like, so we're talking, and then she's like, yeah, she's like, I gotta figure out how to pay this phone bill. I need $70 by the end of the day. And I'm like, well, I know you're trying to go for money now, but I'm not gonna give you any money. What is in it for me now? You're just looking for a pen pal. I have friends here in town that I wouldn't ever just give them $70. Because I was like, what the hell are you doing? Well, like, why? Why are you on Tinder? Why are you leading me on if I don't fit into this picture? at all. Because then when I said something about when I was joking around about moving in and being in a fucking super weird situation, she was like, "Well, we couldn't move to Arizona anyways. We want to move to Louisville." And I'm like, "What in the shit are you?" So then she asked for the money, and I'm like, "No." Um, so that was kind of swell, but that was before all the good stuff's happened. So, but got my mom's Christmas cookie recipe, my mom's Christmas crack cookie. She's got a recipe from her like great grandma that was secret, and then she tried to give it to my sisters, and they can't bake. So then I got my hands on it. And there are three things in life that you need to do with love: barbecue, soups, and baking. And I tried to bake angry, and it doesn't work out. I found out later, after I cleaned the rolling pin, that it partially wasn't my fault, but yeah, had a blow up. My cookies went from little cute dresses to the rolling pin was sanded, but it wasn't finished, so it got really fuzzy. After I washed it, it got even worse because if wood will absorb water, so it got super hairy. By the time I dried it, it was like a softer, but it was still almost like an emery board, like it. So I had to hand knead it, not knead it, but flatten it and do all this stuff. The big thing that set me off though was I didn't flour the counter enough. You always want to heavy, liberally flour the counter. And I floured it like I'm working with the flour on top and the flour, like just softer. So when I went to go get the first dress, it kind of smushed into a mushroom. And then I went to go get the second dress, and it definitely turned into a penis, which I would normally find very amusing. But in the state of mind I was not that. So a tantrum ensued. Not a tantrum, but yeah, I was pretty pissed. Had to take a break, smoke some pot. So, but my cookies went from like nice little dresses to just absolutely like just the whatever was left of dough, and like I cut them into squares by the end of it. But they're good, really good. Found out that the secret is, should I say this since it's top secret? No, I don't care anymore. I'm going to share knowledge with you. Um, the secret to these sugar cookies and basically is the frosting, because I was munching on the sugar cookies before, thinking I'm on a diet trying to eat better. And I'm like, man, these are good, but these are not my mom's cookie. You know what I mean? So I did her frosting, and I'm like, bam, there it is. There's the magic. Here is a little tip, a little life hack for you home makers. A good frosting, it's simple. Everybody knows about the powdered sugar water, and then people will do like egg whites, they'll do cream, whatever, they've got little different tricks to doctor that up. Vanilla extract, here's the deal: powdered sugar, water, melted butter. You can also do the same thing with syrup. If you're looking to class up a brunch, you got a big family brunch, you're hunting, guys, you're hunting, doing lodge, throw some melted butter in that syrup. Fucking bomb. But with this frosting and the butter on there, it's in the frosting. It's so good. It hardens up, but it's still so yummy. So that is one little life hack for you. Another, while we're on it, another life hack is if you like chocolate malts, get yourself the packets, cocoa packets of mini marshmallows. The marshmallows blend up and give it this creaminess. It's like old-fashioned malt house malt. Ice cream, milk, one packet of cocoa. Boom! Okay, that's 2 life hacks. If you've made it this far, 25 minutes. I've shared with you 2 life hacks. All you need to do. Life hack number 3. Show me your ID. I've told this story before. I'm in a bad part of Phoenix and I pull in and I'm in my sister's fiance's Impala. New, couple of years old. Sharp. So I pull in. People are looking to sell, people are looking for money. They're looking to sell drugs. They're looking to sell themselves. Prostitutes. There's a huge dude in the corner. Big old black leather jacket, all black. Big old top hat, black hat. It was like more like a derby hat. It was pretty cool looking. He looked like the stereotypical, like, bad guy, kingpin in any corny movie, right? And he's sitting in the corner, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna, But I'm like, no, not interested. Sorry, man. Sorry. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't be yelling at me. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, he's yelling at me. Oh, shit. I'm like, yep, he's looking right at me. And he goes, shut up. And I'm like, what's up, bud? All right, I go, what's up? I go, what's up, boss? And he goes, shut up. And I'm like, what? And he's walking towards me. And he gets about halfway from where he was towards me at the gas pump. And he goes, show him. He goes, ask them for their ID. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks, man. And went back to the pump, like, oh, man, leave me. Hopefully that's it. And then I realized, I was like, oh, he's telling that to help me, to keep him away from me. And so I turned back, he's gone. When he started talking to me, everybody fucking peaced out. Because when he's coming towards me and people fucking scattered, I was like, oh, fuck, this is not good. And then he's like, so I'm relieved, and then I'm processing it. I'm like, he told me that to help me out. And so I turned and he was gone. And so I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there, and then sure enough, I finish gassing up. I start to get in my car, and this dude walks up, and he's wearing a robe and slippers. And he goes, hey, man, you see my slippers? And I'm like, they're on your feet, buddy. And he goes, what about my Docs? And I go, your Doc Martens? And he goes, yeah. And I go, I don't think you got any pockets, bro. And he goes, no, you got money for Docs? And I go, can I see your ID, man? Boom. Gone. I live on Meth Alley. I got 2 businesses on Meth Alley, so I'm constantly, rousting tweakers out of my spot. I had a little thing around a corner in a bush where they would come and they'd eat and they'd hang out and they'd stay cool because it was nice and shaded. And I didn't mind. I'd have to clean up their garbage every once in a while, but whatever. And then they started using it as a bathroom. There were piles of shit back there. Still kind of, I minded, but it's like one of the, whatever. And then I bust a dude. And I'm like, I walk around the corner in the back, and I see him, and I go, hey, man, quit shitting me on my bush. And he's like, I'm rock collecting. And I go, shut the fuck up. I see turd dropping out your ass right now. And he's like, I'm rock collecting. And I go, get the fuck out. I'm yelling at him. I go, let me see your ID. And he pulls up his pants and runs off. I have told this to women have done it. Not that I'm being sexist, but I'm saying you don't, well, I'm gonna try to excuse my sexist statement by being more sexist. I'm just saying, if you're listening and you don't think you give off a cop If you don't think you give off the feeling of a cop, you don't. It doesn't matter. I think it's something where they're conditioned from dealing with it, and whenever they're asked that, they peace out. Because I've told friends this. I've told like very motherly, soft, whatever. God, I fucking hate that I have to talk like this. I don't care. Either way, it works for you. It works for anybody. Show me your ID. Homeless derelicts will peace out right away, guaranteed. So that's 3 life hacks now. So you need to make sure to share my shit right now. If you've made it 30 minutes, you got 1 life hack for each 10-minute increment that you invested into my podcast. And now, in payment of that, you owe me 1 social media share. I need your help because I need to build a base for my charity, and I'm shadow banned like a motherfucker. I am always suspended. So do your thing and help me out. I'm going to go change the brakes on my new whip, my rape van, which is going to be a bad thing because I am growing this porn stash. The captain of my hockey team has been suspended. Oh, he's been, well, not suspended, he's been kicked out of the league. During the email, they sent an email. And so what they're doing is I'm going to take back the team. I quit. I stopped. It was my team for a while. I gave it to this young kid, figuring it would help, rein him in. He's aggressive skater and he's a shit talker. So in today's hockey, in rec leagues, it doesn't work. He's not a fighter or anything like that. He's not dirty. He's just aggressive. And when you combine it with the shit talking, it's too much. So he's getting penalized and kicked out all the time. He's got a he's a younger kid, so he's got the porn stash. So I'm gonna grow the porn stash. I'm gonna grow a Gabriel for him this season, which will be tricky with that kidnapper van. A buddy of mine back home, when I posted a picture of it, I said 14th vehicle in 16 months, and he said, does it smell like struggle sweat? Fucking so vicious. But yeah, I'm gonna grow a Gabe for this season in support of my captain who's been kicked out. So, but there was one point at one stretch last season. So each league has like rules. Like if you reach 20 penalty minutes, you get a game suspension. If you reach 40, you're suspended for the season. And people are so busy that they never track this stuff. They just add it up if there's an issue, and then they're like, okay, we're going to suspend you for this. So during his email, he had reasons for the getting kicked out, like, hey, But at one point, one of the reasons was, after adding up your penalty minutes last season, we realized you reached max limit twice. So he had at least 80 penalty minutes. Last season, we're talking about it, and he doesn't get kicked out of the games for fighting. It's penalty, penalty, penalty. Once you get 3 penalties, you're booted for the game. So 6 penalties is the minimum. Sometimes you get more tacked on because the ref's pissed at you. So we're talking, hanging out, and I'm like, man, I feel like you haven't finished a game in a while. And he's like, yeah, it's like 6 or 7. And I'm like, dude, that's 35 to 40 minutes right there. We think he set some kind of a record. So, but yeah, I'm going to have a porn stash and a creeper van. Ugh, great. Not like I've got any game and pulling any wool anyways, but all right, I'm off to do some breaks. Peace out. Oh, remember, share this shit unless you are an employee of the same company I work at. Then just watch it and appreciate it and know that I'm rooting for you in life. But silently appreciate my shit. Do not share. It's the cross that you have to bear, my friend. Judney. All right, everybody. Stay out of the left-hand lane unless you're passing. And stop parking in front of supermarkets while your significant other runs in. Because there's no more running in, dude. All right, she's going to be in there for at least 20 minutes. Quit being a chauvinistic prick. Park the vehicle. Go in with her. Talk to her. Have a conversation with your wife. Asshole. Selfish prick. All right, peace out.